Hi, I'm Nathan Jones. You know, from the time that I was a young boy, the West has captivated my imagination. After reaching adulthood, I started spending a lot of time west of the Mississippi with the local residents, as well as chasing a variety of big game wildlife with my bow in hand. The show today contains both aspects. Today we're in South Dakota going after a big pronghorn antelope using the age-old tactic waterhole hunting out of my double bull blind. It's a great hunt, and you'll also be along with me today on an animal rescue. Today's show is one that I'm sure all you horse lovers are really going to enjoy. I'm glad you're all along today. This is Martin Archery's Wild Extremes. Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years. Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer. Volunteer Cabin Rentals in Chateau Verdun. Now you have a second home. With your host, Nathan Jones. And also brought to you in part by these other great companies: the Kankakee Marsh Hunt Club, Grim Reaper Broadheads, Carbon Tech Arrows, and Kicking Bear One-on-One. We've had a lot of action. My God, I love this. This segment of Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years. Waterholes are the hub of activity for wildlife in all areas of the country, but are especially essential to the existence of wildlife in the semi-arid climate of the western United States. Through the use of my double bull blind while hunting pronghorn antelope, I have enjoyed viewing firsthand a variety of wildlife that are going through their daily rituals totally oblivious to my presence. Everything from a hawk taking a bath to antelope bucks pushing does during the height of the rut, until thirst from heat and exertion drives them in for a drink. During late August and throughout September, the antelope bucks push hard looking for receptive does. The amorous bucks do little resting and are constantly on the move trying to pass on their genetics, which makes waterholes and double bull blinds a deadly combination. By 5 a.m., I'm on the way to my double bull in hopes that today will be the day that one of those rutting pronghorn bucks drops in for a drink. But I also look forward to what each new day will bring. Today, I would not be disappointed because along with a breathtaking sunrise, a special surprise would come waddling past my blind. The badger was cool, but he was barely out of sight when over the dam waddled, of all things, a porcupine. Porcupines are chubby, short-legged, slow-moving rodents that are typically found in and around trees, so I was quite surprised to see one of these bristly little guys wandering around in sagebrush country. Not to mention that porcupines are nocturnal, and this was a legal shooting light.
This is the first time we've had a porcupine by a waterhole. It's kind of cool. You never know what you're going to see out here. These animals come into water, animals and birds and all sorts of reptiles, and it's quite a nature show, just sitting here. And our porcupine is up there. Looks like he's feeding on some kind of weeds. And I guess that's the part they play in nature. Up to now, all of the porcupines I've seen in the wild have been near trees. We are literally miles from one tree, let alone a patch of timber that I would think would be what it would take to support a porcupine.
There are more surprises at the Waterhole waiting for you when Martin Archery's Wild Extremes returns. This segment of Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Volunteer Cabin Rentals and Chateau Bergen. Now you have a second home. Waterholes, or dams as they're referred to by the Western locals, do have inherent dangers that can have devastating effects on the unwary. As the summer heat scorches the parched earth, water collected in the dams from the spring runoff slowly evaporates, leaving a trap not unlike the La Brea tar pits. Once an animal trying to drink gets in too far, there is no getting out, even for livestock and for TV show hosts.
And you say I won't bog down because it's not because you're saying I'm lighting the loafers. It's going to bog me.
Woo!
Holy cow, Ralph! Good Lord.
This filly had been driven in the dam by one of the dominant mares, and lucky for her, we found her on the way to the blind. The goats were forgotten for the day.
Can you get out there or not?
I don't think I can, bud.
You know, wonder if we'd string this rope, hook the two together, and get it on her backside, and pop her on the ass, and she'd try and come out of there.
With no way to get out to the tired filly to get a rope on her, Ralph and I devised a plan that we hoped would work, but we knew we were going to need some help from the exhausted filly.
Hold on a second.
Dog it down.
I'm trying to get...
Matter of fact, I was in need of some help just to get around the end of the dam.
You don't want to fall in one of those pits, bud. Let's catch her by the neck. Hang on, Ralph. Stay right there.
Even with some gentle persuasion from the lariat, the played-out filly couldn't get up enough steam to slog through the muck to make it to solid footing. We had to get close enough for Ralph to get a loop on her.
I think I can rope her right there. Back up, give her some air. Let me get the halter
The Adventures with Ralph. Right here. Okay.
Both of them eyes.
All right.
If you can. I'm gonna move over here.
Okay.
I think I need to be about.
Okay, got it there, bud. Once we had a double halter on her, we were in much better position to pull her the rest of the way out without danger of hurting her neck.
Pop on her butt, Nathan, if you can.
While this may not look like hunting to you, this is just one more experience the Wild Extremes crew has had while out slamming it out on the road. The filly was fortunate this time that a hunter and cameraman happened along when we did. Unbelievably, the filly was not hurt and only the worse for wear.
You want these halters off, Ralph, or you want to hang on to her bed, or what do you want to do? Just take one.
Wait a second.
Just check her over.
Oh, baby, she's on
I think she is. She just wore out.
there. Yeah, she just played out.
Wore out.
That's all.
Hey, baby. Hey, right here again at Wild Extremes, a wild experience. Hey, girlfriend. She was a goner, Ralph. I mean, if she hadn't been pulled, that's for sure she wouldn't have got out on her own.
This segment of Martin Archery's Wild Extremes is being brought to you by Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer.
They're going the other way. They're going the other way. That doe's running around.
The day after rescuing the filly, we were back rocking in the Double Bull. I was excited for a couple reasons. Martin Archery had just sent me a prototype bow that you all now know as the Slayer Extreme. And I had a fantastic buck circling the blind. I was ready to be the first to let my new bow live up to its name. What I was witnessing from my Double Bull was pronghorn rutting action as good as it gets. This buck was not going to let that doe get out of his sight, and the doe was bringing the buck slowly within striking distance. I had shot my new bow quite a bit before heading west and was very confident in its performance ability. Now I just wanted the buck to pause and give me just a couple of seconds to settle in and pull the trigger.
Oh my God, guys. Here he comes. Oh! Guys, he's right there. Guys, we got us. Guys, I'm telling you what, that Grim Reaper is, there he goes. guys. That is incredible. This is, I don't know what to say. This bow, this is the brand new Martin Slayer Carbon Tech arrow and a Grim Reaper broadhead. That was a 75-yard shot. Thank you, God. That is a buck we've been waiting for. Right there, right there. And it's the rut. We have been plagued by rain, by wind. We had a doe come in. She spooked. I can't even get my thoughts, guys. I can't believe it. That awesome buck is laying right there. And I was not going to wait for them to come in and water. And he's on that doe. Obviously, the doe's coming in heat with the fawn. And that buck ran them around. I don't know how much Charlie got of them, but I just happened to look out. And we're in this double bull, the 360. And that is a reason I cracked that buck. Because with this 360, it looked like they were going to come into my left over here. And I was able to just slide this open. You can see how easy this slid. Get it open. And then, as these animals do, then he turns around, or the does do, and they run around to the other side of the hole. I'm able to get this up quiet as a mouse, open this other side, and there he was. Clicked him off, pulled the trigger. Charlie, buddy, you're the man. You are the man. I don't know what. There lays our buck right there, guys. That buck is 70 yards away. I hit him. He run a circle. I thought he was going to run our blind over. There's nothing like taking your bow and setting it outside your double bull blind this time of the morning when you know your buck is laying right there. I gotta take you guys over there. We gotta look at this. This is a tremendous animal. Well, here's my arrow right here, guys. And look at this. This Carbon Tech blew clear through that buck, and I broke bone. And look at this Grim Reaper broadhead. Does your mechanical do that? Guys, after I hit him, you know, he's running 40, 50 miles an hour, and here's a blood trail anybody could follow. I mean, it is devastating what these Grim Reapers do to an animal. And there is an awesome buck. Come on. Oh, man. What an old buck. He's got a cutter rubbed off on this other side. Good heavens. Broke the cutter clear off. This is an old buck. Beautiful animal. I'd like to thank all of you guys for being with us during this series. The response to Martin Archie's Wild Extremes has been quite overwhelming as well as quite humbling. The new season starts soon, and you'll be going along with me and the crew as we hunt a variety of species. And as always, it's done totally in the wild. And as we get further into the new season, I'm going to give all of you even more reason to be sitting in a double bull blind holding a Martin bow. As always, thanks to all of you guys for being here week after week. The slamming still continues.
Martin Archery's Wild Extremes has been brought to you by Martin Archery, making the most accurate bows for over 50 years. Double Bull Archery, home of the Dark Archer. Volunteer Cabin Rentals and Chateau Berdin. Now you have a second home. And also in part by these other great companies, Grim Reaper Broadheads, the Kankakee Marsh Hunt Club, Carbon Tech Arrow, and Kicking Bear One-on-One. Additional products have been provided by these companies.
Man, we got us a monster.
This has been a Wild Serenade production.